Alright guys, welcome back to our 5th lesson vlog. This lesson we did in the dressage arena because the jump arena was still closed because of how wet everything was. In fact, I think this was the first day that the dressage and all-purpose arena were actually open. So we started our lesson. I warmed up in the other arena, the all-purpose arena, for our lesson, and then we had our lesson here in the dressage arena, so I'm already warmed up. And we started the lesson doing shoulder in, which Happy has gotten a lot better at doing shoulder in, but he still is a little confused, I think, about when I ask him to do shoulder in, whether he's doing a circle or whether he's supposed to continue going straight. So we've been working a lot on that in our lessons, and I've also been working a lot of that on my rides by myself. And when I do my rides by myself with him, I actually just usually do it at a halt and ask him on the rail to either move his shoulder or his haunches, depending on if we're working on shoulder in or haunches in. So we warmed up doing shoulder in both ways at a sitting trot, and then we did haunches in, which was really hard for Happy. And I don't think he's ever had the concept introduced to him of haunches in, so that's my homework for sure for the next week or two, is between lessons, is to start introducing haunches in to him and what that actually means. So he had a hard time with haunches in, but I'm actually pretty happy with shoulder in. I feel like he's getting a lot more steps of shoulder in than he was a couple weeks ago, so he's definitely starting to understand it much better. But that was our warm-up at the trot, was just shoulder in and haunches in. So Happy started out this ride really behind my leg, and I think it's mainly due to the fact that we really didn't get a good ride in for almost a whole week. So the rain was really a lot of rain, and I think on Sunday, you saw my vlog, I only did a walk bareback ride for 5 minutes. And then I did ride him on Tuesday, but we only got to ride around the arenas, and I probably did about 3 minutes of trot and 20 minutes of walk. So he didn't have very much riding this past week before my lesson, and that usually leads him to either be super fresh and crazy or really dull and dead. And so he does wake up in this lesson towards the end of the lesson when we start working on the cavalettis, but he definitely was pretty behind my leg and pretty stiff. So I do feel like you were probably watching this and thinking, wow, he's really not moving very much at the trot. But that's really was part of it, was he just was really just stiff, I think, from not having much done, and it was cold and rainy, and we all know how that affects his PSSM and his muscle disorder. But he's been doing really well, and I kind of expected this from him. I expected this to be the case when I started my lesson, so I'm just happy that he was able to do mostly everything that we asked him, and he wasn't really struggling with it and having a real hard time. He just wasn't really ahead of my leg or prepared for doing so much haunches in and shoulders in, but he did really well. And I'll just have to remember next time that if I want to take a lesson, that I should probably try to get out either like a day or two prior and actually get a good ride in to keep him limber. His maintenance for his PSSM has always been that I ride every other day or at most 2 days in a row, and that has done really, really well for him. So that's just definitely the schedule that we need to keep if we want him to stay limber and able to move his body in ways that we ask him. Alright, and then at the canter we just started to work on this cavaletti on a circle, and when I did this to the left, I just really was not letting him know that's what we were doing. So the first 2 times I really stuck on the rail, and I think he was preparing for the straightaway, and then at the last minute I would ask him to turn, and he was doing really well and getting a good spot to the cavaletti. But on this 3rd time around, my trainer said, why don't you start trying to turn a little bit like right here? So I did. I started trying to turn the circle, which makes more sense, and he was totally more prepared for it and took it in a lot better stride than he was before. And I say that meaning stride literally, and I think mentally he was like, okay, I get it now, I understand, and I can actually execute this without looking like I'm so confused as to what you're asking. So we did it on a small circle like that, and then she had us do the larger circle, so come around the whole arena and then do it on the other side of the arena. We did that both to the right and to the left at the canter, and to the right he was a little bit sticky about it, but to the left I feel like we got most of our distances except for that one, which I have to say the people didn't get it, but I cut the corner, didn't see the distance, and we just kind of ran into that one. But we came back and did it one more time and got a really, really nice spot, and then we reversed and went to the right. Alright, that time through to the right, he super listened to my half halt, which is crazy because he used to not know what that meant or what to do with it, and within the last couple weeks he's actually started to listen to a half halt and know what I mean when I ask for it. Now, he's still really sharp with it, so I think he's doing a little too much of the halting, but he's doing so much better. And we started coming on this on the larger circle, and I was trying to do the half halt again, and the first 2 times doing it, it just got us weird distances and ended up having him landing really unbalanced. And so the final one, which I'm not sure if I remember correctly if the pivot got it or not, I did push for a longer spot, and he got a perfect spot and landed on the correct lead, and we continued on and then started to work on the line that she did, which yes, the pivot didn't get it. But he did really, really good, and it's just learning now when to ask for more from him and when to ask for less, and it's exciting that I'm actually able to do that now because I was not able to do that before, and I wasn't able to do that like, I don't know, a month ago. So it's really, really exciting that he is getting to a point now where I can ask him to be a little more adjustable to jumps, and I know these are just cavalettis, but a little bit more adjustable, and he is doing it. So yeah, so now I think we cooled out a little bit, and then our trainer moved the cavalettis so that we had, I think it was a 6 stride on the long side, and we did that both ways. And to the right, it was funny, as soon as Happy saw the cavalettis set up on a line, he came out of the corner and he took me right to it. I think he saw the spot and he thought he was going, and I really think we could have made it in a 5. But we did it in a 6. I was able to get him to slow down a little bit and collect, and we did the line in a 6. So he did really good both ways. We literally only did the line once both ways, left and right, just because he was just so great at it, and like we got our distances and it was perfect. And I'm just so pleased with how he's been riding lately and how much he's learned in the last 6 months from these trainers. Like, my goodness, like we have been just doing exactly what I've been wanting to do with him for like the last 4 years. So I'm so happy with our progress. Thank you guys for watching this vlog. I hope you guys have a great holiday break, because I'm about to go on holiday break, and I will see you guys probably in the new year. So see you guys soon.